Hi guys, Overarch here, and today I'm going to be comparing two of the most popular games in gaming right now, PlayerUnknown's Battleground and Fortnite. So these games are both competing battle royale style games. You drop in a big arena and last man standing wins. The first thing you're going to notice about the two is the art styles. PUBG has a very realistic style, whereas Fortnite has a very exaggerated cartoon style of art, and I think these are both good in their own ways. In terms of art and music, I really have no complaints about either game. They're each unique in their own way. Next up, you might notice that you have realistic weapons versus very fake, over-the-top, but really freaking cool weapons. Fortnite actually just added a guided missile launcher. They have grenade launchers, rocket launchers, burst rifle, you name it, they have it. Whereas PUBG has realistic weapons that more like what you might see in the real world, and they're very accurately modeled, very detailed, and they behave in pretty authentic and engaging ways. Next, you might notice the skins in this game. So PUBG has pretty realistic skins, alright, to a degree. And I know you don't think you'd normally wear a tracksuit into battle, but it's stuff you could see in real life, whereas Fortnite, in my opinion, wins the skin wars with their unique and over-the-top skins. Everything from statues to Cupid to Wukong, it's all unique. They have a whole host of funny emotes, and like a lot of emotes. They have a huge amount of emotes, and I think Fortnite wins the skin game. I gotta say, PUBG is starting to catch up with their new weapon skins though, and allowing you to customize every detail, which you can't really do in Fortnite. Now let's talk about the pros of PUBG. For starters, PUBG has better gunplay by far and away. I far prefer the gunplay in PUBG. You have to account for things like bullet drop. It's way more realistic. You can dope the scope to different ranges. I definitely prefer the gunplay, especially just because of how consistent it is, whereas Fortnite does kind of have a targeting reticle that does involve some RNG. Next up, the Steam store on PUBG means that you can actually make a buck or two off the game as you play. As you play, you earn battle points, which unlock crates. Those crates can then be sold for Steam store credit. So I personally have made a little bit of money playing the game. Next up, the customization is free in the game. Next, we have more complex and intricate gameplay. In my opinion, Fortnite is relatively shallow in comparison in terms of complexity of gameplay. In PUBG, I'm always thinking more about, okay, how's my positioning? Am I highlighting myself? Or outlining myself? Am I in good cover? What's the area look like around me? Am I going to be able to, move this way? Okay, I'm going to move this way through the map. All those type of things. You have to think about vehicles, you have to think about how your loadout impacts your playstyle. It's just more tactical gameplay. That being said, I also find the game far more frustrating when I die, just because a lot of times I don't even see the guy that kills me, or, someone just peeks around a corner who's been camping, and boom, I'm dead. And this kind of brings me to the next point. If you've ever had an open mic on PUBG, you know that the community is toxic as hell, and that goes both for in-game, on the subreddit, and the forums. I find that there's a lot of real assholes in the PUBG community. So then we go to Fortnite. So Fortnite is less luck-based in a lot of ways, and I feel like you're more able to recover from an unfavorable position. I feel like a very skillful player, whereas in PUBG, if you're spotted first, chances are you're going to die. In Fortnite, there's more options for, building and counterplay and stuff like that that's going to let you make that comeback. Fortnite, in my opinion, might have a slightly higher skill cap as well, just because of how hard it is to build, or build effectively, and how critical building is to the game. So, honestly, I could see that going either way. Next, it's also a lot easier to pick up and play, which is probably its greatest strength. You can jump right into the game and you understand basically exactly what's going on, what you should probably be doing. Whereas in PUBG, there's a lot more to learn with, how to, zero your scope, different areas on the map. It's just a lot more to learn. Next up, their Battle Pass system is pretty cool. So Battle Pass allows you to earn a lot of their cosmetic items for free in-game. Which brings me to my next point. The game is also free to play. That being said, specific cosmetics, the particularly badass-looking ones, you do have to either pay either with the Battle Pass or by buying the game's currency, V-Bucks. The community is also a little bit more chill, a little bit cooler in my opinion, than PUBG, but they're also far younger. And if you're playing with randoms, you're going to get a lot of young kids who are really bad and kind of annoying. And that's just kind of the way it is. Their weekly events are also really cool and unique. They've had 50v50, snipers only, explosives only. PUBG is starting to come up with brawls, but they've just come out, and it's going to take a little bit of time for us to see how good they actually are. But at least they're improving in that area. Next, they have more weapon variety, and what I mean by that is that they have more unique types of weapons. You know, an assault rifle in PUBG plays roughly like any other assault rifle. Sure, there are some differences, but not that much. Whereas in Fortnite, you have rocket launchers, grenade launchers, hand cannons, you know, a bunch of different types of pistols, a bunch of different types, and they all play uniquely and differently. Next up, just humor. The humor of Fortnite, in my opinion, the art style, and just the cool and crazy things you can do in Fortnite definitely are better than the cool and crazy things you can do in PUBG. Although the cars in PUBG are actively trying to kill you, so sometimes that creates humorous moments. Next up, you have traps. I think that this is a really interesting aspect of the game, and hopefully PUBG will implement something, you know, involving claymores or something like that. Oh, maybe we shouldn't be encouraging camping, actually. But traps in Fortnite basically allow you to cover your back and add an extra strategic layer. And, again, it's free to play, so you don't have any reason not to try it. So which is better is a matter of opinion and preference. I believe that each have their own strengths and weaknesses. I personally am more partial to PUBG. I definitely have way more hours in PUBG, although I still play Fortnite with my friends, and I do enjoy it. So it's good in its own right, in my opinion, and which you think is better is, you know, a matter of opinion, and it's going to depend on the person. It's very subjective. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye.